everyone. Good morning. Uh, I am your fellow number one. I am your fellow number one soul brother, Talib. Today, I just want to make a quick video, reflecting on a video that our brother here at Operation Exodus, Mississippi, Talik made, and by the way, I'm his ad assistant also. Um, which was titled "Where's White Privilege at During the Government Shutdown?" And I just want to say this as I reflect on that video in the comments that went on back and forth between him and a sister named Cocoonness. Um, you know, it definitely reflects, how docile, our people as dark-skinned descendants of slaves born here in America can be. No matter what we try to bring to our people from this platform of Operation Exodus, Mississippi, aka Reality Temple Ministries on Earth, they still seem to just can't get it. Look, we have a choice, either to be free or to die. And it's just that plain, blatantly, flat out simple. We need to understand this. We need to understand that, basically, like what was said in that video, dealing with white privilege during government shutdown in this country is that, Caucasian so-called white skin don't mean nothing. I mean, the fact that they got to stand in soup kitchen lines just to get food, or get hand-me-down stuff, you know, as some other type of donation pantry, or, it dictates the fact that because they don't have any payments coming in from those federal jobs they got, I mean, they subject to homelessness, neglect, because they can't pay their medical bills or other bills to sustain themselves and their families, which deems them to not be any different from the so-called Negro in this nation who is at the bottom. And so in actual, you know, reality, they are definitely no different. They're no different than those of us at the bottom who have dark skin when it comes to all these different things. And it's like, hey, at the end of the day, they are the majority in this country, far as Caucasians concerned, even when it comes to them, being the majority who get the welfare entitlements, the other housing program entitlements, and all this other stuff, and everything, and these other government program entitlements they get, which is nothing but basically crumbs off the table, just so that it could program them to think that they're better than the so-called Negro American here in this country that's at the bottom. Basically, the reason that they don't understand that they're not better than us is because that's how they've been programmed, just the way that we've been programmed to be slaves or to have a slave-like mentality, you know? So, in order to break that whole entire monotony, we all got to come to a common understanding that we are all in the same boat and that we must unite, whether we're black or white or whatever nationality we may be or whatever culture we may be from, to come together to deal with this, racist, capitalist, so-called, pink supremacist, hegemony that we all find ourselves under, which is affecting every last one of us living in this country, regardless to the color of our skin. You know, I mean, we have to clearly understand this. It's not that hard. It's not that complex to understand this. And I mean, those of you that are in the so-called pro-blackity black conscious community and that fall under that constructive black conscious doctrine, I mean, you're gonna have to relearn the things that you've learned over the years in order to, bring yourselves up out of that mental death that you find yourselves in. Because I myself, was once a part of that black conscious mentality construct, and I come to find out that that is definitely the second death right behind Christianity. And it's even more of a unfortunate, deeper death than what Christianity was for us, through our inception of being slaves in this nation as a people, far as during the time when our ancestors were in slavery. So like I said, I mean, at the end of the day, we need to understand and realize this. That we have to, undo that. Just like a lot of us who call ourselves black conscious had to unlearn Christianity. Well, we have to unlearn that when it comes to the so-called Kemetic teachings, the Nuwabian teachings, the Nation Islam teachings, and this other ism and schisms that we find ourselves in dealing with this so-called solid bowl of confusion called black consciousness, which has not gotten us nowhere. Well, as Christianity has not gotten us nowhere toward total liberation and freedom from our almost 500-year oppression as a dark-skinned people in this country. So, I mean, we have to definitely understand this and realize this, that we are in a situation that, you know, we are all being enslaved in some type of form or another, whether we're black or white. I mean, when it comes to the haves and the have-nots, and that's all this boils down to. That thing as far as race is nothing but a smoke screen. Just like they've always used uh, tactics far as you know interceptions to keep us focused off what the real whole entire picture is really about when it comes to controlling the lives of other people in this nation. Just like with the 9/11 situation, just like with certain other situations that caused us to become more of a enslaved body of people in this nation. And like I said, that's regardless of what the skin color is. Because as I said before, in the same video that me and the brother did dealing with the white privilege thing during the government shutdown, which is still ongoing, is that I mean, at the end of the day, you know, we we have a situation that you know it was a time when you know Caucasians and dark skinned people in this country were trying to unite to some degree against the white racist, supremacist capitalists in this country, you know, and that was immediately broken up, apart. You know, it was destroyed in terms of unity because they wanted them to think, as far as the Caucasian indentured servants, that they were better than the black slaves in this country, you know, and that's the reason why you see this so-called racism going on between the middle class or poor class blacks against, I mean, in the middle class and poor class whites who are constantly at each other's throats because of all this, you know, and this is the reason why we have to come to a common ground of understanding that if we truly want to be free as black people in this nation, we're going to have to, you know, try to at least attempt not only to unite among ourselves with the common understanding that we have a common external enemy constantly, you know, at us every day, you know, constantly trying to make sure that we stay indefinitely at the bottom and that we need to fight that, you know, through proper organization and proper, you know, intelligence to where we can carve out a future for ourselves as a people and for the later generations to come behind us as well. But we going to also have to, you know, attempt to join those Caucasians who will be willing to work with us as well to make this new reality come. Because a lot of them is getting tired of this crap going on with their own people that is at the top running things in this nation. You know, and we have to understand that. We definitely have to understand that there are Caucasians in this country that realize the truth and that realize the fact that they so-called white skin privilege don't mean nothing in this nation. You know, and I mean, even those Caucasians who have agreed with us from this platform of Operation Exodus Mississippi has clearly let that be known. While we have other dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America who oppose this ideal without being able to prove that this is not going to work, as far as this idea of Operation Exodus Mississippi go. You know, so like I said, we're going to have to really understand and realize that, I mean, that we have a choice in the matter today. We actually have a choice in the matter. Either we free ourselves from this oppression that we find ourselves in, or we continue to get what we've been getting as so-called Negroes in this country. You know, as far as police brutality go, gerrymandering, racial profiling. I mean, you know, discrimination through housing, job discrimination, you know what I'm saying, even discrimination in the so-called American education system. I mean, you know, all these other barriers as well that we face as a people who are dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America. We're going to continue on getting this. This is supposed to happen to us, long as we're under the racist, so-called capitalistic system in this country, you know, because we choose not to, you know, join along with this ideal that we have set up at this platform of Operation Exodus Mississippi, which is to take control of the politics of a state such as Mississippi so that we can carve out a reality for ourselves. You know, if we take control of a state, we can definitely make all things possible that we ever dreamed of achieving as a dark-skinned people in this country who are dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America, only if we come together in unity, you know. and put our isms and schisms to the side and recognize that we have a common goal as a people, whether we like each other or not. I mean, as individuals or as groups, we gonna have to come together. We have no choice because, in fact, there are mass graves waiting on us. You know, this ideal Operation Exodus Mississippi, which was brought up by me and brother Talik, which it don't really matter who it was brought up by, means a whole lot because of the fact that these other ways that we've tried in terms of attempting to liberate ourselves as a people from this slave-like condition of over 400 years altogether for once and for all just simply ain't worked. That's why we came up with this idea of Operation Exodus Mississippi, which no one has been able to dispute that in any type of way far as it not being able to work. It has, we haven't even tried it. So, but yet you got a lot of our people who have that have responded to this and have came more so negatively out speaking against it than positively speaking on it because they haven't, they don't even understand that at least, you know, we haven't even tried yet to get this off the ground. And you don't know about something if you haven't tried it yet. So, that's what reflects a lot of our people who are dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America being so docile about this situation when we haven't even tried to get it up off the ground because it's being so opinionated and letting our opinions stand in the way of, like I said, coming to a common ground, understanding that if we come together and try to make this ideal work, that in fact we can succeed through proper, cooperation among ourselves, and as well as working with those Caucasians who also want change and who also no longer want to be oppressed by their own kind as a result of so-called white supremacy, which they've been misled to believe that they benefit from, which in fact they don't. So like I said before, we have to understand and realize this. We all got to, get our heads up out the hard, thick mud and come to this common understanding that we are all in a crisis together. And the only way that we can make this work is that we gonna have to have a solid form of unity with proper organization without making any type of reckless, choices along with decisions to change our existence as a dark-skinned people in this country, as well as along which would lead also to the condition of everyone else changing in this country, including those poor class whites, who in some cases see that their white skin privilege do not matter. Which our brother Talik was trying to express in this other video that I mentioned, dealing with where's white privilege during this government shutdown that we see going on, in which a lot of them, of course, as we see, is being heavily affected by this. Like I say, who can't pay their mortgage, who can't pay their bills, who can't even pay their rent. They don't have no proper medical bills. They getting sicker and sicker as a result. And I mean, but yet their white skin privilege is supposed to matter. Come on, I mean, we got to really look at this for what it is. We have to, especially like I say, those of you that are in the so-called pro-black conscious community, have to unlearn a lot of this stuff that you've been taught, by these so-called black elitists who are no different from the, pale Caucasian elitists, who want slaves, so they can have control, so that they could be able to live comfortable off the misery and sufferings of their own people, as they, Caucasian elitists have been doing for so long. So I mean, like I said before, we gonna have to really wake up and understand that when it all boils down to it in one whole nutshell, we are all in the same condition. I mean, it's just the bottom line to that. I mean, and that's what I really wanted to put out in this video as a reflection to what we need to understand in terms of where we're at. Not only as black people in this country, but even as white people and any other nationality of people who among who are suffering in this country. Because of being considered as the poor class or the lesser than the fortunate ones in this country, which has no color boundaries as well, and which, also this Operation Exodus Mississippi campaign do not even reflect. Although we do want a better way for our people as dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America, but we're not like some pro-black separatist group either, So, just to make that clearly known, we don't want to get that mixed up with the so-called, black nationalist separatist thing, And I want to make it clear again that we here at Operation Exodus Mississippi do not, support, nor do we not, affiliate ourselves with black national separatists. We are not with that, and we do not have anything to do in terms of whatever, black separatists have going in this country. That's not what we're about here. But we do want equal rights, just like any other people in this country that are treated equally in terms of human dignity. When it comes to equality, the same thing that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was attempting to carry out in terms of the civil rights movement struggle in this country. So, I mean, like I said before, at the end of the day, this is what I just wanted to point out. And also, I wanted to point out that, that we have to understand and come to a common understanding that we can change our condition, you know. We can change our condition. We just got to stop being scared. We have to stop being scared of slave masters. We have to stop, tearing each other down as a people as well. And we're going to have to come to a common understanding that in order we really want change, that we can't wait on no God, no spaceship to come from the sky to make this miraculously work. That's not reality. It hasn't been done in thousands upon thousands of years, and it certainly ain't about to be done in that manner now. So like I said before, we're gonna have to come, to a clear, common understanding that hey, look, we have to wake up. Either we wake up, smell the coffee, and free ourselves, or we die. It's just that plain out simple. I don't know no more of what to say or how to put it. And as far as reflecting on what this is all about in terms of, like I said, this video and this back and forth situation with this brother and this sister Cocoonus, in the comment section of that video that we made dealing with concerning white privilege during the government shutdown. I mean, I have to say it was very, in a way it was necessary because of how the brother was trying to reach out to the sister in terms of getting her to see the same thing that I'm speaking about in this video, but at the same time, our people just don't get it, especially with that twisted black conscious mentality syndrome that they suffer from. I mean, we got to get up out them type of teachings. That is crippling us. It has gotten us nowhere apparently, and obviously it's not going to get us anywhere anytime soon. But further and further into death as well as slavery. And I mean, all we got to do is just look around and see this for what it is. I mean, it's not gonna get us nowhere. I mean, and it's just a fact. You know, I mean, knowledge is good. There's nothing wrong with having knowledge, a certain type of knowledge that's gonna work for us on our behalf. But at the end of the day, if we ain't trying to put it to use, what do it mean? You know, it don't mean nothing when it's not working to help free us from the totality of our slave-like existence that's been going on as a dark-skinned people in this country for over 400 years almost. So like I said before, I mean, we have to understand this for what it is and stop playing with ourselves and stop playing with the future of those generations that will come behind us as a people. We have to stop playing and get serious if we really want to be free as a people. We got to do work. We can't wait around and watch others as well do work, because from this platform of OEM, we're not going to tolerate that. Just like what happened during the civil rights movement, when those like Martin Luther King and Medgar Evers fought and was willing to lose their life as well for trying to attempt in terms of gaining equality for our people in this nation. And you had those that sat back but yet are benefiting off the toil of them brothers' struggle, and others like them who paved the way for us to get the gains that we got as a people from the civil rights movement. Just to have those freeloaders to benefit off that. That's not gonna happen. Far as this platform is concerned, that is not gonna happen. We're not gonna tolerate that. If you wanna be with this platform, you got to do work. It's as simple as that. Work and toil and sweat is the only way that this is gonna pay off. Sitting back on your asses is just not gonna work. We got to all get in this together and make this happen. And that definitely applies to this Operation Exodus Mississippi campaign. And one thing we got in our favor, which our slave masters have allowed us to have, is the right to vote. And we have to utilize that power of voting by getting with our people who are locally in the state of Mississippi to utilize their power, their voting power, so that we can eventually carve out a reality for ourselves by getting this ideal of Operation Exodus Mississippi off the ground to actually make that possible. So, like I said before, you know, we have to really, if we really want to be free, we going to have to really buckle down and get serious about our existence as a people in this country. Because where we're headed to, obviously, is the mass grave. And actually, I would rather be, dumped into a mass grave as well as buried in one, if that's what it got to take to relieve myself from this 400 years suffering of pain that generations and generations of our people have went through. I mean, listen, we are the most wealthiest oppressed people ever in the history of this planet. You know, which can cause us, if we put used to doing what we need to do to become united, to being the 10th wealthiest nation on this earth. I mean, with the resources we have, just being the oppressed people here in America, that could be possible if we unite under a common cause and put our petty differences to the side and all these opinions we got, all these different ideologies and religious ideologies we got. Put that to the side. That don't matter right now. We have a bigger fight in front of us. All the rest of that, which I just mentioned, is nothing but a distraction that's constantly keeping us separated as a people. So like I said before, I mean, we have to wake up and understand that. We have to wake up and understand that, like I said before, or simply die. If we don't understand it and do something about it, we're going to just be exterminated. And in fact, the way it's looking, we are in a endangered species of people, whether we want to realize it or not. You know, I mean, hey, you see, every time a police, shoot one of us down in the street somewhere in America, 90-some% of the time they getting away with it. Shouldn't that tell you something? As dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America? I mean, come on. They don't, I mean, their plan is to exterminate us. I mean, look at the mass incarceration, with us being the overpopulated most group of people than any other group in this country to be incarcerated in these so-called penal systems of America. So, I mean, we have to wake up and understand this. That, yes, they have a plan to exterminate us completely. We not the first people that it will happen to, and we won't be the last people that it happened to. This has always been going on throughout human history. And we have to understand and wake up to this fact that we're not exempt from this as dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America. There's nothing divinely special about us. I mean, and for those of you in religion who think that we divinely went through slavery, well, hey, if that's the case, then how come our God, or whatever, excuse me, I'm tongue-tied, how come the God you believe in or the God you choose to serve or believe in have not freed y'all from this? I mean, come on. What true living God or righteous God would want to see their chosen people suffer hell here on earth? Wasn't it not God's purpose for all man to live equally and in peace on earth? I mean, come on. So, obviously, that shows that you must need to examine what your belief system is really all about. It's time to really start examining what your belief system is about, because obviously there are some inconsistencies in your belief system. You know, especially when Christianity was used to justify why blacks was in slavery in this country in the first place. So I mean, this is why I'm saying that Not only those of you in religion, whether Christianity, Islam, Hebrewism, Judaism, or whatever religion you choose to believe in or to follow, you have to unlearn them things that you've been taught. Just like we have to unlearn these so-called black conscious other teachings, like Kemetic teachings, Nubian teachings, Egyptologist teachings, and all this other crap that hasn't gotten us nowhere. We're going to have to unlearn this, and like I said, with this being a dissect or intercepted distraction, this is what's keeping us from being free. And that's the bottom line. That is just simply the bottom line in this reflection of what I'm coming at in this video. This is what's keeping us divided. So I mean, you either take your choice if you want to totally be free and liberated as a people, or if you want to die. And it's just that simple. I mean, I don't know no other way to put it. Far as on that note. I mean, and I mean, because at the end of the day, I mean, we're so much headed toward total destruction as a people. you know, I'm at the point where, me personally, I'd rather die alone than die among a bunch of niggas. Though I ain't gonna be able to control the fact that I'm gonna be in a grave full of them, you know, as far as bodies dumped on top of bodies and stuff like that. But the reality is that I'd rather be dying alone while still alive, knowing that I ain't got to be in the presence of other slaves because we did not want to fight together or do anything constructively together to get ourselves out this condition. So once I'm no longer breathing and my body is dumped in a mass grave, then yes, I won't have no control over that. But I really don't care while I'm still alive to be around a bunch of slaves either. Because I feel like that's just as much suffering as my body being dumped in a grave with a bunch of other Negro slaves that don't want freedom. So while I'm still alive and breathing, I would rather breathe without being around a bunch of ignorant Negroes that don't want to be free. And that's just that simple. I mean, you could call me Uncle Tom, you could call me all this other crazy stuff, or a person who has self-hatred. No, it's not about self-hatred. It's about reality. It's about common sense. You know, if I want to be free, well then I must want to be around the winners who want to be free. And that's what that's all about. So like I said before, at the end of the day, you know, we're going to have to wake up sooner or later. I mean, look at these signs just with the government shut down. These other signs, that's being revealed upon the surface. You know, I mean, but you still can't see because you still will not undo that tunnel vision that stands before you, blocking your vision toward the light to be able to see that there is light at the end of the tunnel. People, if you just come together on a common collective basis as a people, there is end at the there is light at the end of the tunnel for us to achieve ultimate freedom from our oppression that's been going on for over 400 years in this country with us as dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America. So with that said, I'm going to close out this video because I didn't intend on it being this long. But I just wanted to reflect on some things, like I said, that the brother had to say in the video, and as well as dealing what was said in the comment section of that other video that I just mentioned about, white privilege not mattering, during the government shutdown. So I just want to bring that to a conclusion, and letting those of you know that where I stand at is a reflection of that situation in terms of concurring with the brother was trying to let that sister know in the comment section, as well as in the video itself, that I also participated in. So, we just have to wake up. It's just that simple. We have to wake up or else die. Because like I said, I don't want to be around a bunch of slaves while I'm still alive. But if I have to die, I'd rather be buried in a mass grave than to continue on being a slave. And it's just that simple. And with that said,